Adoatv, bringing good things. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Exciting edition of your all favorite weekend educative program, Family Life, on Adoatv. My name is Obahima Efe. We want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Vena Mineral Water. Open nsuo ya akono nsuo mineral say womb nsuo mawa pomudin papa. Water that balances your body and then your life. Just get in touch with Vena Mineral Drinking Water and they will attend to you. We also say thank you to Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. They are also supporting us. This is the month of breast cancer. We are creating awareness that we should all do our possible best and then try to visit any of their branches, whether there was Sue, West Hills Mall, or Tema branch. It's free. It's free for everybody at all. Just walk in, let them examine your breast and see if you are safe or not. If you are not safe, early stages, no. Quickly they attend to you. Not treatment, no. The cost na ye boko the amount. Now it's now chayana cancer ni be didi moa. And the fast kasem ne ana sem bebre no ebreye. We also say thank you to Spiffy Clothing for your quality and affordable printwears and embroidery. Just get in touch with Spiffy Clothing on all social media platforms at Spiffy Clothing Ghana, and they will attend to you for quality embroideries and then printwears. Stay tuned. We're going for a quick time. When we come back, I'm going to introduce our topic for discussion and our guest here in the studio to help us do the discussion.
Breast cancer is very scary and all, but for some reason, a lot of women think that it could never happen to them. October is here again. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've come to know that breast cancer is the one cancer that's killing more women than any other cancer in women. This means that all of us need to be concerned and all of us need to take the requisite steps to ensure that we get screened, know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about, and most importantly, know that there is a cure. Breast cancer can be treated and is best when it's detected early. So take advantage of this Breast Cancer Awareness Month and go and get screened. There's free screening available. If you go to Sonotech in Accra, at their branches at the West Hills Mall in Tema or Osu, you can get your screening done for absolutely no fee at all. Also, if you'd like to do a mammogram or an ultrasound, you get it as a good discount during the month of October. It's time for all of us to get tested. Let us get screened. Let us know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. And most importantly, let us know that if you do have any signs of breast cancer, the earlier it's detected, the better it is for you, your family, and your loved ones. This year, I'm happy to partner with Sonotech during the Breast Cancer Awareness Month to get more and more women interested in taking steps to know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. Stay safe and get screened. My name is Na Shoko. I'm a broadcaster.
back, viewers, from the break. It's still your show, Family Life on Adoatv, and my name is Obahima Efe. Mr. Kwesi Adadru. Now it's Obahima Majimi Gwa. That's just say, Yebeka Awarimun Sem. Family Life. Sunday is all about family life because most families are always together during the weekend. That is why we bring out this let's say this discussion. We also say thank you to Asatec Roofing and Cookwares for also helping us to bring this show to a success. With me here, papa no, you won't much a kakra, but they come here small, they have to go somewhere small. It's up and down like that. And nyamia dom yensa komo. Ye no mu be yen pense mu afa topic bi ho. But last week, just to remind you, we talked about how to keep our breast for our spouses. And as this month is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we had a lot of discussion here with our resource person who told us certain things we need to do to keep our breast safe, to keep our breast in good shape for our spouses. And I believe you took a lot from it. This week, we are talking about why marriages fail. I didn't know why egu. And I say, why do marriage fail? Aware bna minuo bina bana no meneke mene ahinshi tumo 1 month 2 months no peke bna ifite mini course like I be. We'll be diving deep into it. With me here is Pastor Michael Nyako Ampem, my dad. He has been so supportive to me. I'll tell you the reason why later. Daddy, welcome.
Thank you very much.
How's the family?
Everybody's well. We thank God.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Where have you been hiding?
Up and about.
I hear. Okay, we also have Mr. Hansen Bederu. Today, I'm sure I wouldn't say I'll leave the surname for him to mention. Mabo Anameboa. How is it been?
Yeah, you got it right. Great. It's been awesome. Yeah, we've been working, so yeah.
Out of the family too.
Yeah, everyone is doing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And thanks for handling this occasion for us to have a discussion. I mean, we are trying to help families out there or up and coming ones also to also learn something before they jump into marriage. Because our and that form. Pastor, and I'm Mr. Michael, at Dane and our warrior. 1 2 years one say I see Messi warrior and I say my bread. At times within a month, 2 weeks, then our net is on the verge of collapsing. What causes that?
Thank you very much. I'll say that we just look at a few things from the Bible. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 to 8. It talks about patience. Love is patience. That's the opening.
Okay.
And I want to dwell on that. What is happening is that a lot of us these days are not patient. And I call this generation microwave generation. Everything must be fast. So you can tolerate each other, you can forgive, you can be devoted. And you find that in Romans 12, verse 10. It says, be devoted one to another. We are not devoted to one another. So you realize that if you don't have patience, because two people are coming together, you are coming from different backgrounds, you are coming from different cultures, you are coming from different understanding. You may even have done the same courses in the same university, but your understanding, your appreciation will be different.
Yeah.
So you need to have the patience to rub against each other and understand each other. And then you go along. You forgive because you step on each other's toes. But we've come to, like I said, fast microwave generation, and we think that everything must be fast food. So if I want this and you won't do it for me, there's somebody waiting on the touchline, ready to do it for me. So we tend not to understand what we are getting into. some other times too, we do not even look at the character of the person we are going to bond with. You look at what some people call the stand chart and the backlist. When you look at the stand chart, you say, oh, okay, stand chart is good. She has a lot of that. So, I mean, as for me, I like a person with a breast or somebody with a fat behind, which is backlist. So you go for that. Then when you go, then maybe you are the type who want a woman who is homely. But the person you went for is the type who likes to socialize, go out and all of that. And you can't take it. You didn't take your time to know it. Maybe your spending cultures are different. He wants to save, she wants to spend, she wants to save, he wants to spend. So that understanding is not there. So if you don't have the patience to go through all these things and get it, all the counseling will be done. But if you don't build that culture of forgiveness and patience, it will come to that.
Okay. Mr. Bendero.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to you, lovely and cherished viewers, and good afternoon to my HBH people. I'll start from this perspective. As someone who has been doing personal development for some time, I have come to appreciate the uniqueness of people. So as an individual, you are extremely unique. In fact, even yourself, you are now learning to understand yourself. You are now learning yourself. Yourself is a school for you. You are discovering day in, day out. You're discovering new things about yourself. You are discovering something new. You are discovering something to develop. You are discovering something to do away with and all of that. And with all those complexities, you've gone to meet another person who is also now knowing himself or knowing herself and all of that. So it makes individuals unique, marriages unique, and so it's very difficult to pinpoint one thing or the other as main or major cause. However, there are foundational things that we can look at and then be able to tell that, look, if this and this is done plus every other thing, I'm sure that you'll be able to be enjoying some success in your marriage. So the point is, yes, I wouldn't claim to have all the answers to why marriages fail. However, there are some thoughts that we can share. The first thing that I would want to share is, like I said, people are learning each other. So the first point I want to share is ignorance of self. So a lot of us, we don't know who we are, we don't understand ourselves, we don't know anything about ourselves, we don't take time to study ourselves, we don't take time to develop ourselves, nothing of that sort. And so we are entering into marriage ignorant of anything based on other factors that we'll be discussing hopefully later. So if you don't know yourself, on what basis did you choose your spouse? If you don't know yourself, on what basis are you getting married? Because marriage is also a means to an end. In the Bible, the scripture says that God says it's not good for man to be alone. I'll make him a helper suitable for him. A help meet, a help suitable. Okay, it's not good because man was created, man was given a purpose, man was given an agenda. And so that man was supposed to fulfill the purpose which his creator has given him. And so as a person, as a single person, you should be discovering yourself. You should know what your life is about. So you should understand your vision. And based on that vision, you can make an informed decision on who best fits. And if you understand that differences exist, and even yourself, you understand your flaws and all of that, you are in a better position to appreciate another person. Sometimes, generally, if you look at it on a national scale, you realize that we find a lot of problems with other people, other systems, other things, but ourselves. Everybody is to blame by ourselves. That is a person who is thinking perfectionism for himself or herself. But if you understand that, okay, this is who I am, and I'm also learning, I'm also growing, I'm also developing and all of that, you'll be able to better appreciate your partner. So then when you are together, you are able to bond well, you are able to forgive, you are able to appreciate each other and all of that. So that is a major thing that I see people don't know what their life is about. A lot of people come to us in the HBH Development Academy when we are doing, what do you want to do? Anything. What do you want to achieve? I want my life to be better. So that for someone to say, I want to get more money. You know, so for people like that, getting into marriage is a whole lot. A lady can get into marriage just for the purpose of money. You see, your mother or your parents will call you, see the way we have suffered. Please, now that you are grown very beautiful like this, go and find someone who has money so that all our problem will be solved. You have set yourself up for a disaster because there are other factors that come to play. Fundamentally, the major point I'm making is that you should know yourself very well, understand your vision, where you are heading to in life, and on the back of that, you can make a well-informed decision. Not everybody that is good for you. There are people that are good, they are nice, they have all the best qualities and characters, but they are not good for you. But there are people who are good for you, and you can live with them. You can manage their excesses, and so you are able to properly stay together. And then the second one is vision. Yes, vision on an individual level, vision on a couple level. So vision as in, without vision, the scripture says that people cast off restraint. So if you don't have a vision, I was speaking to a lady the last time, and she was like, look, me, I don't want anybody to come and give me pressure. If the man come on to give me, go, 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 go. So I was like, okay, but what has anyone achieved on this earth without having to go through some sort of pressure? You went to school, you've got a degree. There are times you didn't feel like going to class, you have to go. There are times you didn't feel like learning, you have to learn. It has exerted some level of pressure on you because you have a goal. You want that degree. You can't afford to let go of that degree. So you will manage the excesses that comes with it, the pressures that comes with it. As a people, as a couple who have come together to achieve something in life, what do we want to achieve? Is the vision clear enough for us? If the vision is really clear and we are bonded and passionate about the vision, we can control ourselves, we can manage our excesses so that the success of the union will be achieved. For the scripture said, can two work together except they are agreed? And so when we say agreement to a certain thing, agreement to a vision, we agree to achieve A, B, and C. And on the back of that agreement, we can manage each other's excesses, and then we'll be able to achieve great success in our marriages.
Okay.
Thank you.
Reverend, should you always be compatible with someone before you jump into marriage?
Yeah. I'll continue from where he left off. Can two work together unless they agree? And the Bible also says that one will kill 1,000, but two will kill 10,000. How can you kill 10,000 if you don't agree? There must be some agreement. There must be a foundation. Where the Bible says that at one point somebody built on sand, and when the wind came, when the rains came, it collapsed. When somebody built on rock, when the rains came, the wind came, it stood. So there must be an understanding and with the fellowship, that agreement, so that at least you have a point where you are starting from. If you do not have that, you are jumping into a mess, unless probably you are doing a business relationship. Your marriage is business. Some people do that. But that one is different. But if you have real marriage where there's love, where there's care, where there's fellow feeling, and you are expecting to develop yourselves and develop your children to the next generation and all of that, then that understanding, that oneness, that togetherness, that feeling for one another must be there. Otherwise, you are building on sand.
Okay.
Yes.
But my problem is, our brothers, Muslims, it's hard for you to hear that Muslim niya warrior mawejai. But mostly is coming from the Christianity side. What actually is the problem? Or what's the secret in the Muslim marriage that keeps them together? Whether still,
they still divorce.
But it may not be like the Christianity.
You see, there's something called compulsion. In Islam, sometimes what happens is that it's a family to a family. So in that situation, you have to go back to the family for that quote-unquote permission to step out. And if the family says no, you stay. Sometimes the dowry that has been paid, if you want to step out, your family will have to refund that dowry, probably 10 bulls or 20 bulls and all of that. You slaughtered them and eaten them, and you don't have them now. So you cannot refund that. So you stay in there. There's a marriage somewhere in Kathmandu, outside here, where to ensure safety, continuous marriage. If you don't have a sister, if you're a man you want to marry, if you don't have a sister, you cannot marry, because you go to marry and exchange your sister for the other person's sister. So if you hit your wife is supposed to tell her brother, for her brother to also hit you, though you've done nothing. So the day I decide to divorce my wife, then my wife's brother is obliged to divorce his wife. So some of these rules are in there to secure. But when you come to a Christian area, you are not compelled. You are. There's this what we call moral suasion. The word is given to you. God does not compel you to do things by force. He expects you to use the brain that He's giving you to reason and to follow Him. That's why He doesn't force you to even worship Him. He gives you room to understand Him and worship Him. And so we have the liberty, but our liberty has not been given to us to misbehave. Our liberty has been given to us to ensure that we do the right thing, we understand the right thing, and walk the right path. So sometimes people have gotten to the point where they use this philosophy of feminism and all of it. To an extent, it has its positives, but generally, if it's just to fight the other species, like fighting a man that, what a man can do, a man can do better. I earn salary, so I cannot submit to somebody else. Those are the things that we have here in our area that causes us to sometimes to get to that point where we quickly want to jump out of the ship. And the courts are also there to grant you if you work in there. Some people think that now they can afford whatever they want. And sorry to say, there are sperm banks that are available. People go in there to go and buy and get fertilized. So they think that they do not need you once they can provide for themselves. So those things, when you do not apply the Bible to your life strictly, then you may have some of those challenges.
Okay.
You mentioned, you asked a question about compatibility. I'd want to take it from there. So compatibility is critical, is very important in marriage. But the way it is taught, or the way people talk about it, look at it a bit more spontaneously. It's like you meet someone and for whatever reason you are just compatible with the person, or you're not compatible with the person. I think to make it very simple and basic for people to understand, compatibility is about your ability to meet the needs of the other person. So you meet my need and meet your need, we are compatible. It's like a thing that fits like this. So when it fits, we say it's perfectly compatible. So it is important because you would have to meet the needs of your partner, and your partner would have to meet your needs. And that way, when each of you have each other at heart, you are able to do it. So yes, it's important. And asking the question whether or not why people, especially it looks like in the Islamic religion, people tend to be not to be divorcing at the rates that we are seeing in other places. I asked the same question, and we took a bit of research and study on them about how our forefathers, our forebears have enjoyed some level of success in their marriage, respective to major indicator as in the separation. Okay, because the fact that someone is in a marriage does not mean that he's having successful marriage. Someone may be in a marriage and not be having that success. But the indicator we are looking at is the rate at which people are divorcing or leaving their marital homes as against those before. And Reverend said it beautifully. The major thing was that there are higher interest involved. Okay, so before you marry, families are involved. So when family A and family B have come together to ensure that you guys marry, you cannot just wake up and say you are not interested in the marriage again. In fact, in some cases, you are told that don't come back home. Go there and make your marriage work. So once you are stepping in, you know there is a journey of no return. But in our world today, it's more liberal. So I go, I find a lady, brought her home, and against every other person's advice or counsel, I said, look, I love the person and love is blind and all of that. So I jump into it. And then at the end of the day, I said, look, like Lucky Dube's song, this choice I make, it didn't work out the way I thought it could. So I'm no longer interested, you know. So once, and these are some things that people teach, that you don't commit your life to marry a person that does not answer or report to anybody. There are some people, they are bosses of their own. They take no counsel from anybody. They take no advice from anybody. They call their shot. No one advises them. No one make a decision for them. Some people like that are quite dangerous to be with. So in those cases, because they are families involved, the respect and honor we give our families. And my father is a Muslim, so I come from a very strong Muslim background. The kind of honor you give your parents.
Your mom is a Christian.
Yes.
So how do they cope?
How do they cope? I'll tell you later.
Oh, we want to know.
So because of that level of honor that we give, you can't just go back there and say, until maybe there are very severe or adverse situations and the families come together and then they cannot find a solution but for separation. And it rarely happens. So because of those higher interests that are involved. Yeah. Thank you.
So back to it. How do your parents cope? As your dad being a Muslim and your mom being a Christian.
I'll tell you later. Let's go on.
No. We want to know because we are sharing ideas.
Yes.
You see, we are talking about a lot of things being involved in marriage failing. Okay, so we want to know. At times there might be some secrets out there that a lot of people do not know. So I know it's private, but you can just share a bit of it.
Yes, it is. But all I can say is that having interreligious marriage is a very difficult thing. And it's better advised not to.
Okay.
Because even if the two parties agree that, okay, I'm a Muslim, you're a Christian, we want to marry, I still go to mosque, you still go to church. The question then is, if their children are born, which religion do they? And I have my own kind of difficulties growing up, very confused, whether or not I want to go to church or I want to go to mosque. I always tell people I go to church and I go to mosque at the same time, because for whatever reason I like to go to church and I have to go to mosque as well. In secondary school, it was very heavy. I think in secondary school I was an executive for the Muslim group and I was a chorister in church. So one time one of my teachers asked me, "So you are a Christian or you're a Muslim?" You know. So it brings a lot of issues and a lot of difficulties to be able to survive. You're better advised not to, but so that it's managed. Even if the two can manage it, your children would have a lot of issues trying to know where to go. And if you don't take them, there's going to be a lot of battle in there, because daddy wants you subconsciously to go. You may not have said it, but if you decide that you are not going to go to mosque but go to church, daddy may be offended, and some privileges will be withdrawn. The same with mommy wants you to go to church. Mind you, many wars have been fought in line of religion and ethnicity, or the people's tribe. They are very passionate and connected to them. So whether you like it or not, that is also still there. So they may not be arguing about it in some very civil places, but the desire is always that I want my son to be a Muslim like me, or I want my son to be a Christian like me. So that battle you don't want to have.
Okay.
So you are better advised not to. Well, in my position, per my perspective and my experience so far, I'd advise you not to.
But Reverend, should it be a blockage? Because now earlier on you made a submission, both of you made a submission on the agreements, the compatibility. Now these two are in love. Now also because of religion, you shouldn't pair. Definitely then you are pushing the person into something he or she doesn't like, which causes this marriage to fail.
Ask yourself why the Old Testament, the Jews, and up to today, are encouraged to marry among the Jews. There is a reason. The Bible also talks about do not be unequally yoked with one another. It says that a believing wife with patience can change, but are you ready to go through that stress? Do you have that capacity to endure? Do you have the heart to tolerate all the things? One of the things that he said that is very real is when the children are growing up, even intra religion, there's that problem. Assuming one is Pentecostal, one is Orthodox, the children get confused. So it's when it's inter, it's beyond imagining. You get it? So you do not want to get yourself into that. Sometimes we think that the emotion, the rush of emotion that we get is what we call love. And that rush of emotion is ephemeral. It's temporal. It's after all is said and done, when the lights go off, when the stage curtains come down, and you begin to see reality, that's when you start asking yourself, did I go or did I come? You get it? So it is not, I call love a verb. What you do. It is not the other side why people call ooh ha. You see when I see you, they have goose pimples. When I see you, then my heart is beating as fast as the fastest train. You're going to get BP. You get it. Because marriage is far more than your heart beating fast, or there's a rush of blood into your head for you to stop thinking and see reality. Some you may have one or two marriages going through that and being successful and being nice, but on the scale of 1 to 10, I may give it maybe 0.5, not even 1, because most of the things marriages that will go through that will go through stress, and you do not want to, especially the children, you don't want to make them confused. So they don't know whether they are going left or they are coming right. You get it? So now the child grows up and it affects the child's confidence. It affects the child's ability to socialize and achieve the God-given talent or abilities put in the child. You, the parents, already have your outlook. But even then, if you are not happy, you may suffer arthritis, you may suffer heart problems, you may suffer diabetes because of all the stress that you're going through. You may suffer bulimia because you're not eating well, and so you have to be far more than just marriage has to be far more than just the feeling, because the Bible says let us be as wise as the serpent. And ask yourself why the Bible chose the serpent. God has given somebody instruction. God of all people has given somebody instruction, and He's the one who created you. And He said you have everything except this one. And then the serpent comes and the serpent is able to outsmart the person God created. So if you want to survive and do the right thing, you have to be as wise, even wiser. That's why the Bible chose the serpent. Not that the serpent is a very wonderful animal, but it's just that you have to be smart. And for you to even slide, because everybody will be hitting it and cutting it, but you have to find a way of meandering its way through the grass and the sand and the water and survive. So that all other animals, the eagles and things, do not pick it and find a way of surviving. Okay, so we need to be clear. We need to be stay clear of these things, and not marriage itself is a whole system on its own. You don't add on what baggage that you don't need. That's what I want to add for now.
Mr. Hansen, how you crying then?
Well, marriage is basically from my perspective, we marry to achieve the purpose that God wants us to achieve. Hence, if the reason for your being doesn't warrant, marriage is unnecessary. So I'll give you an example. Jesus Christ was born a man. We believe fully man, fully God, with a definite purpose for his life. And for the sake of that purpose, marriage was unnecessary. There are people who, the scripture said, became eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom. So as a result of some of these things, Adam was given an Eve for the purpose. So purpose is fundamental to marriage. So when we are coming together without the purpose, then it makes it very problematic. So for me, marriage is basically and when you are making a decision, because the last time we were talking about freedom, freedom, limitless freedom leads you into bondage.
Okay.
And also, freedom to make a decision should be accompanied by responsibility of the decision, responsibility to the outcome of the decision that you are making. So there are lots of us, we grew up promising things we don't deliver, and we think it's okay. Personally, I'm not okay with the fact that people just say things and don't do. But, well, it has become almost normal. You are seen as some kind of person when you insist that you said this thing, you should deliver it. So the point I'm making is that when you are making that decision, whether or not you want to marry a person, you should know what the marriage is about. The purpose of it has to be clear, and then you should be committed to the responsibility that comes with it. We do a lot of career guidance clinic, and I tell the people that if you are not challenged by the problems of a career, don't choose it. Don't just be excited because you saw a man wearing white and looking all nice and handsome, so you want to be a doctor or you want to become a reverend father. If you enter and you don't understand the challenges that comes with that decision, you may bow out, because that which we see is not all that there is. So marriage also goes with responsibilities, which you have to understand and prepare yourself to deliver on those responsibilities. So without a true understanding of your purpose, the purpose of the other person, and the vision of marriage, it becomes almost unnecessary. People try to get married because they don't like themselves. They don't love themselves. They are angry with themselves, unknowing to them sometimes. They just want to get married so that they'll put the burden on another person. So then it becomes a lot of challenge. So there are a lot of other reasons why marriages suffer. Fundamentally is what I've said. And I think Reverend also mentioned some points on finances. I think we've dealt with it here some time ago. Money is also a fundamental reason why money, the use of money and the whole financial management is generation, distribution, and management, and all of that. So you have to be clear in your mind and have conversations around some of these things. Sex, for instance, you have conversation about some of these things because they can impact your life in a way that you don't understand. Men are fundamentally different from women, and you need to understand that before you go into marriage. The way the woman understands love is completely different from the way the man understands love. The way the woman interprets certain things and expresses herself is different from the way the man expresses himself. And if you are going into marriage, you are going to marry another, you are going to marry a man, and you are thinking that you are going to marry another woman. You are going to marry a woman, you are thinking you are going to marry another. So you are forcing the person to behave the way you want to, and it's going to have some friction. So people don't learn, people don't want to learn, and people don't know, and we assume we know. The proof of knowledge is that you want to learn. A person who says he knows it or does not know anything. A definition of a fool is the one who is always right is his own side. So if you give yourself up for knowledge and you say, oh, you want to learn, and you are learning, you tend to make better and well-informed decisions that will see the successes of your marriage. So for marriages to work, purpose must be understood, and then some of these things that comes with it should be well discussed and well understood. Thank you.
Okay. Reverend, I wanted us to look at the effects it has on children, especially when there are kids involved. What happens?
You know, the marriage is legal and social. There's a union that is sanctioned legally and sanctioned socially, because socially the families will come together, and legally the state or the country will be behind it or underwrite it and say that yes, this two people are married, and that's why whether it is the court wedding or the traditional marriage, whatever you want. If you go and register it, there's a witness, which is the families, and out of the marriage, it's expected that there'll be some fruits, because you want to start a generation after you. When you go in the family, everybody's after 1 year, everybody starts looking at you and asking questions and all of that. That's another topic, but generally, what I'm saying is that you yourself, you have an expectation of yourself as a couple, that you have children, you determine when you want to have the children. So when you begin to have problems, it's a home where children, you yourself have started and kept some kind of peace, some kind of uniformity. Now, the moment breakup begins to come, it means that there's a crack. And that crack leads to a situation where it affects the children. It's said that when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. So as you people choose to fight, the children get confused. I'll give you an example. Growing up, there was a couple that divorced, and they were fighting over the children. So the children always decided to play the parents. When the father thought that the children were with their mother, the children were somewhere, so they'll tell their father that they are with their mother, and they'll tell their mother that they are with their father. And because the father and the mother were not talking, the children were able to do whatever they wanted to do. And one went to the beach and drowned. That was when they decided that they do, after the drowning, that was when they decided, in spite of the divorce, they would talk. So I don't know where the children were. But then they are lost one son, and the others had also become delinquents because they had learned all the bad ways. So when these things happen, no matter how well it is managed, you need to be very, very strategic about the children. Okay. How the impact of that on them, the kind of relationship they had with their mother or their father or both of you. How do you mitigate any all the fallout from that breakup in the relationship? If you're able to kind of compensate for the loss that they are going to have, then they can better take it. Okay. Though they'll still be impacted, they'll be in a better position to take it. But if you do not look at it and find ways of mitigating the impact of these things, then there's going to be a massive problem. Because you will be so bitter. Depending, it doesn't matter whether it's the man or the woman. You'll be so bitter, and you would get to a point where you want to destroy each other, and by so doing, you destroy the children. Yesterday, I was just reading an article about a British couple. They were married, but they stayed together as partners for 13 years. The woman had a child, but the two of them did not have a child. Okay. For whatever reason, the woman decides that she doesn't want the relationship again. And now the man is suing the girlfriend on everything, for even the spoons that so that the man has stated in the court papers that he will make her life so unbearable to the point where he will willingly give her child to him. Now who is suffering? It's the child who is suffering because the child didn't ask you to do the things that you are doing, but the man is so bitter that the girlfriend is. I think the man is called Smith, and it's happening in Mauritius. Though they are British, they decided to relocate to Mauritius, and it's happening. I just read it yesterday. Okay. You get it. So if they do not manage, the couple do not manage their anger and their feelings and their expectations, then the children will be worse off. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Samson, you have something?
Yeah. Yes. Because of how children develop, it's important that they are nurtured in a home. Because most of the issues we have with inferiority, most of the issue we have with...
Can you explain what you mean by they should be nurtured in a home?
Yes, a home where there is a father, there is a mother who understand each other and are able to bring up the children in the way that they must go. Okay. So there are a lot of people that we have dealt with, and in HB we have dealt with, and for some of them, even for some women who have absentee fathers, they are mostly the ones that have been all out for some of these extreme ideologies of independence, even in marriage, because they have not grown up in a place where they saw a mother submit to a father. So it is very difficult for them they feel they are losing their power. Because of that, they are going to do everything to protect it. And they will end up hurting their own relationship. So when parents decide to go separate ways, it has a lot of impact. Aside financial and all of that, the way children grow, they pick a lot of things from the environment. They learn a lot of things, and mostly learn by observing than by listening. So they are seeing what the mother is doing, what the father is doing, and on the back of that, they form an opinion. And that opinion stays with them. There is a man that had been violating the wife, abusing the wife physically, and that is also a cause of some divorces and some failure of marriages when there is physical abuse. And he doesn't see anything wrong with it because he's grown up in a place where the father abuses the mother, and it's okay. So he was surprised when they were talking about it and saying it was bad. He was like, hey, this is normal, I'm the man here, you know. But that is not supposed to be the case. So whenever there is that one partner is not there, in fact, in some marriages, they are not divorced, but they are not together. The man is somewhere, the woman is somewhere, and the children are also somewhere. So they don't get that environment to grow up in. And when they don't have a proper home where they develop, they have defective adulthood. Because most of the battles that people are fighting, that we are dealing with today, are, I call them experiential battle, or they are popularly known as childhood battles. So the things they've struggled with have lived with them. And even though they have grown, they still carry it on, and they form some insecurities around it. So it's a lot of issue. So for you to, if you really care about your children, then you should be making the right marital decision, so that you can stay there. And there are ladies who have 101 reasons or 101 problems for submission. Like I've said, he grew up without an accepting father. That's why you have a proposal is made to you, and you have to do the acceptance, and you have to choose the husband. You have to choose the person you are, just like the way the politicians come to us to tell us about their manifesto. And then based on whatever analysis we've made, we vote for them. And after we vote for them, we give them all our resources and say, now take care of us. You know, make the decisions, because we feel that you can better manage it. So you went in, that's why I said every decision goes with responsibility. The guy has come to propose, you did not take critical look at certain things, and then you went in and accepted the proposal, and on the back of that there are issues. So because you are the one going to, and because you expect to stay, submit, and ensure your house or your home works, you want to pay particular attention to that, because at the end of the day, you may think that I don't need anybody, I'm working, I have my money, I can take care of my son. You'll be shocked. There are a lot of people that have been brought up by single parents, and they have lots of issues. So I'm not saying that single parenting or single parents are bad, but I'm saying the most ideal situation is when you have the parent in the home, well, understanding each other and agreeing on the way that the children has to be brought up. That way the children are more formal, or else we'll have issues of inferiority, we'll have issues of a sense of belongingness. The child doesn't know where to belong. He can't socialize well, he can't relate well with people. They may form defective opinions that they may even be hurting other people, and they see it as normal and all of that, which doesn't help the overall growth and sanity of the society and of a nation and generally the world. If you look at the problem on the world stage, is actually from the family. So if we bring up correct children, we will have correct and a nice society. But if the family is, there's a crack in there, there is a, people grow, like someone say, fools also grow. So when the fool grow, he become a foolish old man. So at the end of the day, you see an old man doing something and you are shocked, saying some things and you are shocked, because of how they grew up, because of how they appreciated certain things.
Okay. So I believe you are learning. You are taking a lot of points being discussed here. If your marriage is at the verge of collapsing, it's never too late. It's never too late. There are certain things you need to consider. In Kolana, na hard chain, because yes, I know akola osua nyama o. Nyama bi wo ha, e fa nse akola de bia wo bo yere wo obai ni. Opeke sade no, wo bo nso de enyin. The moment he or she gets into marriage, no so feel say it's normal. No, I starting. No, ene one ne no ana one ne kunu ntokwa say up and down. It's all because of all these things. We're going for a quick break. When we come back, the show continues.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwanda, fly the dream of Africa.
The break is still your show Family Life on Adoatv, and my name is Obahima Efe. You can also watch us live on Facebook at Adoatv Ghana. Search for Family Life. Nashe. Call a friend to call another friend, family members, partners, or spouse, baby, or obiano. Just call the person to also watch and learn something from it. When we went on break, or before we went on break, we were discussing about the effect that marriage negua enyawo nkwalane so, and we heard a lot about it. We are still discussing why do marriages fail. Eba ne saying then kwa na the cause of it. Nso so aso ben so na de brain and na de brain mofra. Mofra na ya hunte, because oh yeah, you might feel you're trying to do something to let the other person feel bad, but mind you, akola woman akola no onu na ne hu hia yen na ka wo maame na na se papa ne nko ade anka e bia nsem ni bi wo ha yen ka ana reverend.
You still have to you see, the truth is that every effort must be made at ensuring that marriages work. We are talking about failure because it didn't work. So I think that basically we must look at the things that will make marriages work.
Yeah.
The law on one side, looking at the Matrimonial Causes Act, 1971 Act 367, which gives certain areas that are grounds for divorce. But you realize that the law, as stated, does not force you to go and divorce.
Yeah.
The law only states that these are grounds. 5 years separation, 2 years separation without agreement. You agree to separate for 2 years, adultery, and all of that. It states them. But you have to make a choice. The couple have to make a choice.
Okay.
That we've come to an irreconcilable point where our differences cannot be reconciled. So we want to divorce. What causes that? It basically is mostly ego. Ego. So you think that, oh, now you are better off. You think that who is he to talk to me like that? Who is she to talk to me like that? And now my life is, the salary I'm earning, I can be on my own. It doesn't matter whether it's the man or the woman. Now I have children. I've had all my children from. I've heard a lot of women say this, that they want all their children from one man. So after that, the man can go, so that it doesn't appear that they had children from ABC. So when those unrealistic and sad to say poor decisions are made, then it's easy to go down that path. Of course, there's likely to be situations where it's unbearable, and that's where the egos come in. Especially somebody was one of they divorced, and the man said that he cannot change. The man was doing something that was negative, and the woman was complaining, and the man said, I cannot change. And the woman said that I can also not tolerate it. You get it? And ego and pride had come in, and those are the things that will come before a fall. Because once you cannot say sorry, once you cannot say, I promise I'll change, I'll reform, I'll turn over. Once you're not, and you follow it through. You don't just say it by your mouth and then wrap this thing. And like some people will say, after election you don't campaign. After, when you win an election, you don't campaign again. So they've married you when you have to leave. And some men too go by the fact that you are born 1, born 2, born 3. Who else wants that? So you know, so they tend to misbehave and do all manner of things. So these are things that we need to look at. If we can understand some of these fundamentals, and some to an extent, these days the Mexican and then the Filipino films, the telenovelas, has given people unrealistic expectations. They think their life is lived on yachts. Life is lived in the fast lane. You must by 15 years you must have a mansion and then have the most expensive cars around you, and you are not working and you are having them. How do you get them without working? So some of these unrealistic expectations have gone into both sides. The men think that they can suddenly get up and have wealth. So, and when they have wealth, they can control and misbehave. So they go into all kinds of things and break trust. Right? Once you break the trust, you break the foundation. If the pot is broken, what else can you contain? So these are some of the things that it worries. And then once we can deal with them, marriages will work. Though we are talking about why marriages fail, if we are able to deal with these ones, for those, I'm speaking basically because of somebody may be listening and is on the verge of taking the decision. If they can go back and look at some of the reasons that is undergirding their decision to separate, and have the patience to cool off time and relook at it, they can begin to work towards making it work instead of making it fail. And that's where I'm going.
We'll look at how to deal with all those things. But there was this trending video, I think last week or so. Software, sorry, Baba, I don't know if it was consultation or whatever. Now, pulpit, so now just
that's right.
That's
right.
And see, this pray for me. Now it's like from Sunday to Sunday.
Ahima, the truth is that he says something. Responsibility. All our lives are guided by responsibility. Once the software did not repair, and she contributed to it. The software may have said everything to convince you, but it was your responsibility to accept and agree to participate. So it may be pray for me, it may be don't pray for me, and all of it. You accepted to go there, and when he said that, you accepted to participate. So it is not just the man's. The software shouldn't have done that, but it is not his responsibility alone. It's the woman's responsibility as well.
I understand, but as the position or one, we don't expect him to be doing that.
You don't expect, but you see, sometimes what happens is that we forget that people have backgrounds before they enter into certain professions. So if you don't do due diligence and you think that anybody and everybody is good to go to, then you go and then throw yourself into it. So you are responsible. The Bible says test all the faith. So if you don't test and you don't apply wisdom, who do you want to carry the burden for you? You suffer the consequence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Hansen, you have been smiling. Why? You want to add up?
Well, with the issue of the pastor thing.
Did you see that video?
Yes, I saw it. With that issue. I think that you are primarily responsible for your life. One thing is sure, you cannot dictate how someone lives his life. You can dictate how you relate with the person and how you live your life. So this thing...
Hansen, please, can you hold on for me?
Okay.
Our phone lines are open, so you can call to add your comments, suggestions, and your questions.
Great. So with having said that, when people learn, you see, it is better to be responsible, take the right decision, and enjoy success in your life than take an irresponsible approach and blame someone.
Okay.
Nobody celebrates another person for blaming someone. He's the one, he's the cause, he's the thing, he's that. But no one will come and clap for you because someone has destroyed your life. The world is there to prove. Africa has been in slavery for how many years? Several centuries. Today nobody is celebrating Africa because we've been in slavery. So the point is, no matter how people abuse you, how they do all kinds of things, you have to make a decision that I will be responsible for my life, and based on that responsibility, you will take decisions that will give you success. So no matter what you do, they will always be there. There will be always false pastors, false teachers, false malams, false whatever people. They will always be there. False, lying, I mean, all kinds of people are in the world today. But you have to make a decision. Don't be going around trying to say, oh, you shouldn't do that, you should have done that. You decide. So in some of our classes, we teach people, if you want, be the right partner, then you can attract the right person. You attract who you are more than who you are looking for. So if you are not, you have a tall list of qualities of a man that you want, and you are some, you've not grown, you've not developed yourself, you can't survive there. And even if you are there, you'll be feeling too inferior, feel below standard of the level that you are, even though that is what you have wished for yourself. So let's just learn to be responsible. It's just as simple as that. It's not so much about people. I don't like to blame people for anything. I go after what I want. I work hard towards achieving what I want to achieve, beyond how that this person is supposed to help me. This my uncle didn't do well, this person didn't do. It's not important. If they help you, it's a privilege. We'll accept them, we'll appreciate them for it, and we'll reciprocate in that manner. But if they don't, no problem. We move on with our life. My life cannot come to a standstill because of someone's attitude or someone's behavior. So you have to be responsible for your life, because you are primarily responsible for the outcome of your life.
Okay. I wanted us to look at how to keep the marriage, but before that, I want us to also look at these two things: friends and then infidelity, as a cause of marriage failing. Should that be?
You see, we are both saying, a responsibility, and then it's a choice. You also have a choice in the matter. I think 1988, no, 1990. There was a story in Second D of a man, a responsible man, a very well-known person in society. The wife had gone to see a pastor.
Okay.
And the pastor went to sleep with her in the bush. And the community people saw it, arrested the pastor and the lady, took her to the palace. So they went to inform the woman's husband. The man came and said, "Where's my wife?" Got her wife well dressed, took her wife home. That was the end of the matter, at least for us. Because till I am speaking, I never heard them divorce. I'm sure now they are dead. But I never heard them divorce.
Okay.
The man had a choice. Somebody would have gone there screaming, guns blazing, and doing all kinds of things, threatening. But man politely said, "Where's my wife?"
Okay. Evan, we have a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, Honorable.
Good afternoon, sir. Madam.
Please.
Hello.
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So please, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Sam.
Okay. Please go ahead.
But I'm always Australia. You see, I don't know, but I'll put it this way. I also put a question and then say something. Why is it that when the man meets the woman is an angel. When children come between them, the woman tends to be a Lucifer. So why this kind of problem? And when they get married, as you were discussing, Except now that money. The children, the woman is nothing before him. And why this, I'm so happy this program is on. Because in this armed robbery and other areas, it is our responsibility. It is the parental care which is not there. And the marriages too, at times some of them don't go through the counseling. If some will even go through, Satan will come and separate them. And as you were discussing about the children, come what may, divorce is not the best. When you look at the children, both the father and the mother have to look at the children. If you do this to a woman or do this to your husband, and you go and marry another man, then that man is more perfect than one you are having children with. It's not the best. So this is what the career comes. Even traditional marriage, I like they say, I hope it didn't come up.
Hello.
So it depends on who the parents and our parents. They have to stand firm. And I also suggest that we should go to the chief and the government. Whoever will divorce the woman, they shouldn't be even divorced for her. For the sake of the children. Look at what is happening now. Look at how sex is amazing. It's not a joke. So please, I'm very happy you're hosting this program.
Okay,
It's
thank
not the
you.
best. Divorce should never happen. If a man needs a woman, that fellow must marry the woman. That trouble is everywhere because of who the truth is that they didn't get divorced. And that's what those things are coming to.
Okay.
And now Satan is trying to entice the men to divorce their wives. Imagine a woman having sexual with her husband and went to a man who is having two wives with children. And that's what the man divorced the other woman with two children and then married she being single. And you not adultery. The man supports adultery and the man supports adultery, which is not the best. So I'm done. And thank you for listening to me.
Okay,
So
thanks
we're
for
supposed to
calling
work
too.
on it.
We will.
Let
Thanks.
us all come together and work on it. And when the woman must come out and make a loser, whoever will divorce the woman, let us make a rally. It's also a political
Okay,
matter.
thank you, Honorable.
I mean,
Thank
we
you.
the woman must come out and say our voice to the men in the chief and discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling. Reverend Assembly Binu. Her first question was
Before children, the woman is an angel. After birth,
no, I kakai.
I sincerely don't believe so.
But at times I will agree to that. At times some women are the devils themselves. Or no, I'm saying this because
I still disagree.
no, before you worry on o keep you okay, o dress nicely, o sorry anopa, like you look presentable. The moment or wo ye pe, o sorry atam ebonimu. No the nam.
I understand all of it, but I still disagree. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I disagree because have you had conversation with her to tell her about the things you don't like?
There are some ladies you have conversations with them, but still.
So the foundation. Which means that
We have a caller.
no problem.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, Isaac.
Good afternoon.
Please, where are you calling from?
I am calling from Tamales.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, Tamales. Okay. In fact, I applaud the conversation that you people are having. The man talking about responsibility. In fact, I have to say thanks for that. Marriage is said that when two people are involved, here we talk about, two families. And when you look at marriage, it's a union between the two. And once the other partner doesn't understand the meaning of marriage, it becomes difficult. In the sense that when you, the man, becomes financially weak, and the woman doesn't understand that there is something happening, and you want to think that maybe the way you were living when you were dating. You see, these are the things that normally lead to what? Broken homes. Because when children are involved. Some of us, we are victims of a broken marriage. And we have experienced it, and we don't want those things to be repeated in our children. These are the things that we are talking about. So sometimes we are just look at it as if the man and the woman don't understand the meaning of marriage before they come together. That is what is making our home difficult for us these days. I think I'm done. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you.
Reverend.
Yeah. So I'm saying that usually you can trace some of these things to the foundation.
Okay.
When you were courting, you found the woman to be, or the man to be impossible. His or her understanding to certain things were difficult. But because you wanted the marriage to come on,
so you
overlooked them. So the child is always the father of the man. So these things do not just immediately spring up. You will see the signs, but you think that, oh, when I marry, I can change him. When I marry, I can change her. And you do not change people. People change because they want to change, not because you will change them.
Okay.
Guns have not changed people from stealing. You take them to the and shoot them. Take people, catch them and arrest them and take them to a prison. You still get people stealing. Yeah. So people will change because they want to change, not because you will change them. The laws do not necessarily change people. You get more people try to fall within the law so that they not get punished. But you have these things.
Okay. Hello, Edmond.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon, how is it?
By grace, and you?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Okay, please go ahead.
Your topic was interesting.
Okay.
Hello. So I was watching. So I want to know what are the things that causes the downfall of marriage.
Okay. Is that all?
And also what are some of the things that a woman is supposed to do or a man is supposed to do so that their marriage will not fall.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've talked about some causes.
Yes.
I'm sure there are lots of causes.
Of course, there are lots of causes. But fundamentally, we mentioned that before you go into marriage, you should know yourself. You should have a vision. You should be about something in life. And then it will inform your decision on who best fits and all of that. Some other causes include the fact that you have to be a learner. Eric Hoffer said in times of drastic changes, learners will inherit the earth and the learned will be equipped with a world that no longer exists, which means that if you're a person to continue to enjoy success, you have to continue to learn. And like I said earlier, you are learning. If you are a learner, you learn even yourself. You're getting to know yourself better. You're getting to understand yourself and all of that. And with that approach, you get to understand your partner. You learn your partner and all of that. And then, of course, you'll be able to meet each other. You can't be meeting the needs that is not there. Okay, it's just like you're doing business. You can't be selling to a market that it doesn't need your product. You have to learn your partner, know what your partner wants so that you can offer it, and vice versa. Another very critical cause of divorce.
Can you hold on? We have the caller.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, madam.
Hello, good afternoon, Anodru.
Yeah, good afternoon, madam.
Okay.
How are you doing?
By grace, and you?
Not bad. I would like to talk a few of them. You didn't make mention of some men having devil themselves, right? And the man was under view.
Yeah.
Sometimes the foundation can be good. But when you get up into certain kind of level, familiarity can be an issue. In fact, we actually I come up, but they see say at first they were that familiar with you. So they were doing the same thing, but when they become too familiar with you, they don't want to change. And in terms of responsibility too, you should know where your responsibility starts. But our head, if you know the right things to do, then you shouldn't be on the basis before you can make the right decision, somebody has to come in. If that's the situation, then you fail. So we should know what and when we can do things to make things work for us all. I think that's the little thing I want to say.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah. So perfect with what he said. Familiarity, very critical. People just get too familiar with themselves, and we don't leave things spontaneously and say things will just work. Time doesn't necessarily make things work. It is your activity. So you can sit at one location and achieve nothing. After 100 years, you will still not achieve anything. Not because the time has gone, but because you would have done something. So it's very important that if we want to enjoy marriage, we have to be deliberate about the things we do. And respective to the things we do, the scripture said, with wisdom is a house built, with understanding it is established, and with knowledge its chambers are filled with treasures. So the point is, I always say there is a way out of every problem. A problem is a problem because you don't know the way out. The Bible says that the labor of the fool wearies everyone because he does not know the way to the city. So knowledge is very critical. There is a way things work. There is a way things will work, and you have to learn. You have to be a learner. You can't assume to know it. You can't hold an entitlement mentality and think that you are the you are the best person. I was telling someone yesterday, this thought of you are the kind of guy every lady wants, you are the kind of lady every guy, is a lie. There is a guy who doesn't want you. There's a lady who doesn't want you. Quit the whole ego thing and put yourself up and learn and be humble enough and learn. So knowledge is also very critical. Attention also another very important thing why marriages break, because we don't make time to bond. We don't make time because of money, because of the bill. So before morning everyone is gone, we come back late, we are tired, we have to quickly go to bed. Children don't get to bond with their parents don't bond among themselves, and then we have all of that. We have issues of marital infidelity, unfaithfulness, and issues of all spanning from issues of sex. So people need to learn, even in marriage, to discipline themselves, to comport themselves, to restrain themselves. It's not that because you are married, so your libido has gone on rampage. You should learn to control yourself, and you should learn to meet each other's sexual needs as well. Very important as we progress. Another very important factor is communication, effective communication. We should learn to pass information from one party to the other in a way that we understand. A friend of mine will say, listen to understand first, don't listen to respond. So many times we take an entrenched position in a matter. When the person is talking, you are already calculating the thing that is wrong with what the person is saying, so you want to respond. You are not listening to understand his position or her position so that you can effectively respond to it. You are just listening and finding the thing. So at the end of the day, communication is not effective. And if communication is not effective, like you have said, the lady has given birth to 2-3 kids, he thinks he has arrived. And for some people, marriage and kids is the goal. So once they get there, they have arrived. And if you arrive, you plateau. That's how the world is. So if you want to enjoy success, even successful business people, you have to continue to grow. It has to continue. So if the goal is that I want to marry and have kids, once you marry and have kids, you have arrived, you plateau, you begin to fall. So the law of diminishing returns sets in. So once people are learning, once people are knowing themselves, then we learn to communicate effectively. Then we can, this thing that you are doing, I'm not very comfortable with it. Can we find a way around it? Can we do this? And the way you talk about it and the response will make it very, very effective. So these are some. There are lots of other ones, but I'm sure time will not really permit that. So yeah.
Is your advice to viewers out there? I'm sure we'll have a part 2 of this, because we've not dealt with a lot of things.
I just want to read Philippians 4 verse 8 as my pattern. It says, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. So if you meditate, if your thoughts are positive, if you are looking at the positive, the good in another person, you are likely to show the good in yourself.
Okay.
That's the message I want to leave us with.
Thank you so much. Reverend, maybe you can add your number.
Okay. 0200 646421.
Okay. Mr. Hansen, just
Well,
your number. Quick one. Our time is up.
Okay. 054 25 63 653. 054 25 63 653.
Okay. Thanks so much for handling today's edition. It's been your show, Family Life on Adoatv. I also wish Mrs. Janet Tete and then Lydia happy birthday in advance. Thanks to my crew members, Blank Saint, Jonah, Sasu, Auntie Nizi, Manye, Reggie, and then Anfred, Uncle Danny. Thanks so much for being supportive. And then till we come your way same time next week, it's been your show, Family Life on Adoatv. My name is Obahima Efe. Till we come your way next week. It's bye-bye.